Alright, so after evaluating simple exponents, evaluating exponents just isn't any different. The first thing we have to do is take a look at this. It says evaluate the following if n is the same as 4. So we know that in this expression, n is worth 4. The first thing I'm going to do is rewrite this and read it in math. So it says 1/4 times n to the third power. Remember, anytime you have a coefficient, a number, a fraction in front of a variable, it means to multiply. So I'm going to rewrite this as 1/4 times n to the third power. Now, using order of operations, the first piece I have to evaluate here is this 4 to the third power. And I know that 4 to the third power is not 12, it's 4 times 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16, 16 times 4 is 64. So I know that this part of my expression is 64. So I have 1/4 times 64. Now when I look at this, it looks a little bit confusing to me at first because I'm multiplying a fraction by a whole number. But I know that 64 has the same value as 64 over 1. So I can rewrite this with the denominator of 1 just to make the math a little bit easier. Because I know that when I multiply fractions, I multiply straight across. 1 times 64 is 64. 4 times 1 is 4. So I have 64 over 4. Now that's an improper fraction. That is one acceptable answer, 64 over 4. However, I'm going to change this to a mixed number and see what I get. So I have 64 split into groups of 4. 6 split into groups of 4, I know I can give 1 to each group. If I had 6, I gave out 4, I have 2 left over. I bring down my next place value. 24 split into 4 is 16. So 16 over 4 is an acceptable answer, but that is also equivalent or has the same value as 16 wholes. In case you need a second example, we're going to look at one other one. This says when m is the same as 3, evaluate the following. Again, being able to read this in math makes it a lot easier. This says 1/3 times m to the second power. Anytime you have a variable right next to a fraction or any coefficient, it always means to multiply. So this problem means 1/3 times 3 to the second power. So 3 to the second power is 9, 1/3 times 9. Just like in the previous problem, I can add a 1 as a denominator to make it easier to work with. So it's 1 times 9 is 9, 3 times 1 is 3. As an improper fraction, 9 over 3 is perfectly fine. However, we know that this is 9 divided by 3, or 9 over 3, which is equivalent to 3.